Hi again, everybody. Welcome back to a 1908. Usually a 1908 White Sox-Tigers game would really get your imagination going, but probably not quite so much today. White Sox are at 7-8, Tigers are at 7-7, and because nobody's really stood out here in the American League so far, we're going to show you this game. But these teams are kind of in the second division so far. Here's Patsy Doherty for Chicago, and he rolls a 64 for a 40, changed to 39. It's going to be a strike. His next roll is a 64 for a 40, changed to 36, so it's a ball. 2 rolls and still no result. Next one's going to be 15 for 11. That's going to be a single to left, and Doherty then steals second base with George Davis up there. And he's going to bunt. And he rolls a 65 for a 35, which means he strikes out. Not a very good job with that. That brings up Fielder Jones there. Still a runner in scoring position, second base. And he rolls a 14 for a 43. And here comes the little E roll. It's a 31. It's out of the range. It's a little fly ball over to left field. McIntyre's got it for the out, too. Wayne is Jiggs Donahue. He rolls a 14 for a 43. And the next roll is a 36. It's going to be a fly ball this time over to center field. And Crawford has it for the out. And we'll go to the bottom of the first inning just a second. All right, sorry about that, and we're going here now to the bottom of the first inning. The Tigers have Jeremy Schaefer up. Here is the first hitter, and he rolls a 15 for an 11. Let me make sure I choose the right window. There we go, and he gets a single, and then a stolen base after that one. That brings up Matty McIntyre with a runner in scoring position. Same position that the White Sox found themselves in, and he rolls a 65 for a 35. Little roll is going to be a 23, which is within the range. That means that's going to be a error there on the left fielder Doherty, and that puts McIntyre on at first, and the Tigers strike first. And here comes Ty Cobb. Cobb hitting 274 with a 318 on base percentage. Not hitting so well so far, and he rolls a 61 for a 40. That's going to be a little ground ball over to the first baseman Rossman, who hits Killian, the pitcher, covering the bag. One away rather. Here's Bosch Schmidt with a runner on at second. And I'm going to say that's okay. 31 is the roll. That's a little bit. That 3 right here is a little bit over off to the side, but you can tell that's the 3 that he got. Rolls a 31 for a 9. It's going to be a ground ball over to the shortstop Atz, who throws over to first for the out. 2 away. Sam Crawford up there. Rolls a 21 for a 30. It's a fly ball over to left field. Doherty has it for the out. We go to the top of the second. 1-0 Tigers. Here is Ed Hahn. He rolls a 12 for a 24, and here's that little E roll. It's going to be a 64 out of the range. This little ground ball over to shortstop. Schaefer's got it. Throws to first for the out. 1 away. Art Weaver up there now. He'll roll a 44 for an 8. That's a single against Killian the C. Weaver now on at first base, and that brings up Lee Tannehill. And these White Sox are going to have to bunt a lot. They don't have a lot of great hitters. Tannehill rolls a 46 for a 27, which means he misses 2 attempts to bunt. 2 strikes on him now, and he rolls a 53 for an 18, and that's changed to 19, and that ends up being an error on Coughlin, the third baseman, which puts Weaver up at second, and that'll bring up Jake Atz. Atz hitting 083, so we bunt. And, of course, he rolls a 33 for an 8, which is a little bunt back to Ed Killian, who throws over to the second baseman. It's Downs covering at first base for the second out. That'll bring up Frank Smith. Runners on at second and third, 2 outs, top of the second. Smith rolls a 14 for a 43, and he hits a little fly ball over to left field. And it's going to be McIntyre. He grabs that for the out. We go to the bottom of the second, and it's Claude Rossman for the Tigers. He rolls a 31 for an 8. A little pop-up over to third base. It's going to be Tannehill who has that one away. Bill Coughlin now. Coughlin rolls a 26 for a 27. That is a ground ball over to third base. Tannehill has it, and he throws to first for the out. 2 away, and that brings up Red Downs. And Red rolls a 16 for a 26. It's going to be a little ground ball over to the second baseman. Davis has it, throws to first for the out. We go to the top of the third. Patsy Doherty up there for Chicago. Rolls a 25 for an 11. That's a single, then a stolen base after that. That'll bring up Davis. And once again, we're going to try to get Davis to bunt. He rolls a 36 for a 33. There is a little E roll, and the little E roll is a 14. That ends up sort of helping him. Changes that to 21. That is going to be an error on the first baseman Rossman. Trying to remember which team's in the field. That'll bring up Fielder Jones now in a very good position. So Davis, we're going to check really quick. Davis does have an 11, which means that we can do this hit and run without too much of a risk. Let's see what happens. Fielder Jones rolls a 53 for a 15, and that's a single to left field. Scores 1 and sends Davis over to third base, and that's your tie ball game now, 1-1. That'll bring up Jiggs Donahue, still runners on at first and third, and he's going to do a hit and run again, and the roll is a 31 for a 14. That's a strike, and unfortunately for Jones, he ends up being thrown out stealing, and so there's 1 out now, runner still on third base. That was the danger. Now the roll is a 12 for a 24. Little E roll is Little E rolls a 62, and that ends up being out of the range. That means that the runner, let's see here, what exactly happened on this one? Runner on third is thrown out at home, and Donahue ends up getting up to second base during the run down, and so that brings up Ed Hahn with a runner on his second. Still 1-1 ball game. Hahn rolls an 11 for a 0. His next roll is a 55 for a 2, is a big triple to deep center, and that will score the second run. That'll bring up Art Weaver, the catcher. 2-1 now, White Sox. And Weaver rolls a 24 for a 13 and strikes out, and so we go to the bottom of the third inning, and it'll be Ed Killian, the Tigers pitcher, up first. Ed will swing for himself, and he rolls a 55 for a 9, which is a strikeout there against Frank Smith, one away, and here's Germany Schaefer. First strikeout of the game for Smith. Schaefer rolls a 63 for a 31. Fly ball over to Jones. Davies got it for the out. 2 away. Here's Manny McIntyre, and he rolls a 42 for a 14, and he takes his base on the walk. That'll bring up Ty Cobb. As I said before, Cobb only hitting 270, 313 on base percentage, and is not showing the sort of power he normally does. And he rolls a 51 for an 8, and that's a little ground ball once again over to Donahue. First baseman hits Smith, covering of the bag. Cobb again is stifled. Here is the top of the fourth, and is Lee Tannehill. Lee up there rolls a 45 for a 14, and he walks. Runner now on first base, and that'll bring up Jake Atz. Atz, again, hitting 083, so we're going to bum with him. And he rolls a 13 for a 14, and he walks. So there the 14 helps out. Brings up the pitcher, Frank Smith, who again is going to bunt. Nobody out, runners on at first and second. He rolls a 21 for a 13, which is just a foul strike. We'll try it one more time. Now a 23 for a 13. And so with 2 strikes, then we'll let him swing away. And this time he gets right in the middle, 22 for an 8. He gets a single that'll score 1 run, send Atz up to second. And that brings up Patsy Doherty, 3-1 now, White Sox. And how about that? How about that? He gets a 21, then a 23, and then the roll in the middle is a 22. You saw it yourself. Patsy Doherty now. He rolls a 36 for a 13 and strikes out 1 away. Top of the fourth. That brings up George Davis. Davis 0 for 1 today. Rolls a 23 for a 32. It's a fly ball over to right field, and that will be caught by Cobb. Atz, however, able to go to third base on the catch, as it's a fly that advances the runner 2 away, and here's Fielder Jones. Jones rolls a 54 for a 45. Another fly ball over to right field. Cobb has that for the out. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Boss Schmidt up there rolls a 42 for a 13, and he strikes out 1 away, and that'll bring up Sam Crawford. Crawford rolls a 62 for a 12 with a little ground ball over to first base, and Donahue has it, steps in the bag for the out 2 away. Claude Rossman now rolls a 21 for a 30. Fly ball over there to Doherty in left field, and that'll do that. We go to the top of the 5th inning. Exciting game this one, 3-1 White Sox. White Sox with all the hitting, and Donahue rolls a 31 for a 14. He takes his base in the walk. Runner on at first, and it's Ed Hahn, who rolls a 43 for a 29. It's a comeback over to Killian, who throws over to first base for the out. Donahue moves up into scoring position, and it's Art Weaver. Art rolls a 61 for a 32. It's a fly ball over to right field. Cobb has it again for the out. 2 away. Lee Tannehill now. He rolls a 36 for a 33. And here is that little Lee roll. And the roll is a 65 out of the range. Just a little pop up over to the shortstop. And that'll be Schaefer who has it for the out. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Still 3-1 Chicago. Bill Coughlin up there now rolls a 51 for a 9. And he gets a single, but is then caught stealing 1 away. Here's Red Downs. Downs rolls a 64 for a 29. That's going to be a comebacker over to Smith, who throws to first for the out, 2 away. And it's Ed Killian. Killian rolls a 65 for a 35. The next roll is a 34, which is out of the range. That's a little pop-up over to Donahue, the first baseman, for the out. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Love these games when they're fast like this one. It's good. You get into the flow of things. Pretty easy to go through, and you generate your statistics and have a little bit of fun where you need to. Jake Atz now rolls a 62 for a 12. There is another little E roll. This rolls a 15, so it's within the range. That's going to be the 3rd error on the Tigers in this ball game. That's an error this time on the pitcher, Killian, and that allows Atz to go over to first base, and he's got that 11. Now, this is the question. Do we hit and run, or do we just have Smith bunt? I think we just have him bunt. And the roll is a 51 for a 14, so it's a moot point as he walks, and there are runners now in first and second. Smith having a very good offensive game. Patsy Doherty up there now. He rolls a 43 for a 29. That's a comeback over to Killian, but he can't get the double play. Just has to go to first with it. 1 out, top of the 6th, 3-1 ball game. Here's George Davis, and he rolls a 23 for a 32. It's going to be a fly ball over to right field. Cobb has it. Cobb's arm's not that great, though, and both runners move up. 4-1 now the score, and here's Fielder Jones with 2 outs. Jones rolls a 52 for a 27. It's going to be a ground ball over to Coughlin. Throws to first for the out. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Germany Schaefer up there now. Rolls a 52 for a 27. That'll be a ground ball over to Tannehill at third. He makes the play and throws to first for the out. 1 away. Manny McIntyre's up there. He rolls a 62 for a 12. That's a little ground ball over to Donahue. Doe goes to the bag himself. 2 away, and here's Cobb. Cobb rolls a 55 for an 8, and that's going to be a fly ball over to center field. Jones has it for the out. We go to the top of the 7th. Cobb has done nothing today. Jiggs Donahue leads this off, rolls a 62 for a 12. Here's that little E roll again. It's a 61. It's going to be a little ground ball over to first base. Rossman has it, does it himself to the bag, one away. Here's Ed Hahn. Hahn rolls a 32 for a 26. That'll be a ground ball over to second base. It's Downs who has it, throws to first for the out, 2 away, and Art Weaver now rolls a 66 for a 6, and he will get a double out of this one. Boy, I tell you, Weaver, the catcher, having a good game, a 2 for 4, as I saw there, and he's got the double, and that brings up Lee Tannehill with a runner on at second. And he rolls a 45 for a 14. So Killian really not having a great game. 1.09 ERA and only a .205 batting average against, but he's been giving up runners all game long. 5 walks in this one. And here is Jake Atz. And Jake rolls a 25 for a 10. That's going to be a base hit to beat out the infield hit, beat out a bunt rather, that loads the bases. Here's Frank Smith, who's 1 for 2 and who walked up there last time. And with an RBI, by the way. And Smith rolls a 35 for a 22, changed to an 18. That is going to be a ground ball over to the shortstop Schaefer, and he boots it, and that allows 2 to score. Error number 4 on the Tigers. And here comes Patsy Doherty. And, I mean, this is what happens with Killian, and this is why he's losing these games. He doesn't have the fielding behind him. Doherty rolls a 54 for a 45, and here's the little E roll. It's a 42. That ends up being a little fly ball over to Cobb in right field. He's got it for the out, and we go down to the bottom of the 7th. Now it's 6-1 White Sox. Bosch Schmidt up there now. Rolls a 26 for 27. That's going to be a ground ball over to third base. Tannehill has it, throws to first for the out, 1 away. It's Sam Crawford. Crawford rolls a 61 for a 13, and he strikes out quietly. 2 down. Here's Rossman. Claude rolls a 51 for an 8. That's a fly ball over to center field again. Jones has it for the out. We go to the top of the 8th inning. George Davis now rolls a 31 for 14, and he'll walk, and that'll bring up fielder Jones. Jones 1 for 4 today, hitting 279. He rolls a 22 for an 8, and that's going to be a single, which advances Davis to second. And now you got to really be wondering about Killian. We're probably going to take him out here in the bottom of the 8th. Jiggs Donahue up there now, runners on first and second. Donahue 0 for 3, and he rolls a 66 for a 0. This is going to do it. 22 for a 2, and he gets the big triple that scores 2. It's an 8-1 ball game, and that'll bring up Ed Hahn. We'll go ahead and leave Killian in a little while longer. I mean, he made this mess. He's going to have to line it. Rolls a 14 for a 43. Lily rolls a 15, and that's going to be changed to 21. That's going to be an error this time on the first baseman, Rossman. Error number 5 in this game against Detroit. 9-1 is the score as Ed Hahn reaches second. Here is Art Weaver. He rolls a 52 for a 27. That's a ground ball over to Coughlin, who throws to first for the out, only 1 away. And here's Lee Tannehill. Rolls a 36 for a 33. And the Little League rolls a 44 out of range as a pop-up over to the shortstop Schaefer for the second out. And here is Jake Atz. He rolls a 15 for an 11. That's a base hit, and that will score the run. Atz then steals second despite having a 10-1 lead. And it's Frank Smith again who rolls a 24 for a 13 and strikes out. And so 4 runs there for the Tigers in the top of the 8th inning. That one has probably meant that it's just about all over, isn't it? Here's Bill Coughlin. For the Tigers, he rolls a 14 for a 43. It's funny how one team will get all the rolls, the other team won't. That's what's happening here. Lilly rolls a 33, so the result is a fly ball over to Doherty and left for the first out. Red Downs now rolls a 42 for a 13 and strikes out, 2 away. Here's Ed Killian, but he won't be up there long. We're going to put Davy Jones in there to pinch hit for him. Here comes Davy. And his roll is a 22 for an 8, and that's going to be a fly ball over to Jones in center field, who has it for the out. And we got to get a relief pitcher up and in there. Let's see who we're going to do. I'm thinking about, well, we've done Suggs before. I think we're going to put Herm Malloway in there. Herm Malloway will come into this. He's pitched 1 inning so far this season, hasn't given up anything. Top of the 9th, he faces the top of the order, and Doherty greets him with a 66. Follows that one up with a 62. That's going to be a 6. That'll be a double there for Doherty. And that'll bring up George Davis. 12 hits in this one for the White Sox. Davis now rolls a 61 for a 13. He'll strike out. 1 away. Fielder Jones, right behind him, rolls a 36 for a 33. And here's the little E roll. It's a 21 within the range. That's yet another error. That's going to be a bad pickoff move on Malloy, allowing Doherty to reach third. And that's error number 6 on the Tigers. They have more errors than hits. They have a lot more errors than hits. Jones, the re-roll, rolls a 63 for a 31. Fly ball to Crawford, who makes the catch. That scores the runner. 11-1, and here's Jiggs Donahue. He rolls a 46 for a 29. That's a comebacker over to Malloy, who throws over to first for the out. We go to the bottom of the 9th, and Frank Smith, working on the masterpiece, rolls a 54. Germany Schaefer, rolls a 54 for a 45. Little E rolls a 55 out of the range. Let's see, pop up over to Hahn in right field. He's got it for the first out. 1 away, 2 more to go. Matty McIntyre rolls a 46 for 29. That's a comeback over to Smith. Throws to first for the out. 2 away, and here's Ty Cobb, who's over 3. And Tyrus rolls a 63 for a 31. That's another fly ball over to center field. Jones has it for the out, and that's how this one ends. So the White Sox will go to 8-8, Tigers to 7-8. They're both still within shooting range of first place, but boy, Cobb needs to break out of the slump, doesn't he? That's going to be it for today, and I'll talk with you tomorrow. Bye-bye.